Hi, I'm Ahava and today I'm joined by my good friend, a longtime friend, Robbie Schneider, social media manager from Franciscan Health. You've got questions, we've got some answers, so let's get to it. How do you balance the boundaries of protecting your own mental health with knowing that you have to keep up with the latest on all these social media channels so you can advise your stakeholders about what's appropriate?
About half of all communicators are about ready to leave their position due to stress and mental health. So we've obviously got a systemic problem. But what I've been able to do is just take those little opportunities to take those steps back. And started with, hey, when I switched my phone, I didn't install all the social media apps onto my new phone. I kept it on my old phone, which is connected to my Wi-Fi, where I could do the monitoring for work. But I kept my phone as a safe space. Everything was really lost by giving myself the opportunity to pause, take care of myself physically, take care of myself emotionally, be there for my family, exercise if I need to, de-stress if I need to, do all those things. So when I came back to work the next morning, I was the best I could be.
I'm more confused than ever about how to discuss difficult topics in our community. How can we address sensitive topics like mental health in a way that fosters trust and empathy?
So I just want to remind people, first and foremost, that everybody behind the screen is a human with an individual story. And to be able to recognize that and start with that understanding rather than, hey, let's just display statistics, or come from that level of understanding that there are humans who may be worried about job loss or a loved one who's sick or other concerns in their lives. And they're bringing that to the table.
When you're talking to your content creators or when you're thinking about your social media posts, and how do you imbue that empathy in the things that you post that are what we would call at this point in time touchy types of subjects?
Coming from healthcare, we're almost kind of fortunate in that regard because we are about empathy and our brand is about reaching out and touching people and helping them through some of the most challenging times of their lives. So having that natural tone of empathy should be part of all of our messaging. Now, we really need to make sure that we are talking about things holistically. So if we're writing about diabetes and treatments, yes, we need to acknowledge that having a chronic condition where you're making hundreds of micro decisions every day does take a strain on your mental health. So really integrating it with the other things that we're talking about and seeing the person for the entirety that they are, as opposed to just you're a mom or you're a person living with this condition. You know, we used to do communications in a set period of day. And yes, sometimes we'd have crises and we'd have longer days or we'd have, what have you, but we turned it off. And we can go back to those days. It's going to be hard and it's going to require communication, but that's what we do.
Robbie, one of the things you talk about in your book is boundary setting at work. And I would love to hear more about that. I think that's a huge pressing question on everybody's mind in today's world.
Well, I think as a social media professional, we tend to get it from all levels. Not only are we the voice of the brand, we are the social listeners. We have a touch point for every communication issue or campaign that is going on, internal or external, because as you know, even if it's internal, it's not always 100% internal because people talk. And so we have that touch point with everything, and it can become very overwhelming. It's kind of that analogy of things rolling downhill. And what we have to do as professionals is to make sure that we're setting our boundaries and creating that culture of communication, which is so, so important. I think as communicators, we tend to communicate the least with our team members, and we get very siloed because we're very good at what we do. And, oh, this is really fast and she's good at this, or, she knows what she's doing and she'll take care of you. But the reality is there's only so much bandwidth, not only for you professionally to get done in your hours, whatever those hours may be, but there's only so much bandwidth on the part of the reader. And if they're getting what they feel is spammed at by you, are you diminishing the value of your returns?
And I have never found ever in 19 years of doing this, that when I said to somebody, if we rush this, we're not going to get a good quality project, have they ever pushed back? They might push back about other things, but there's always, well, then when can you get it done? And I think what you talked about is like giving very specific examples of like, if we push this out now, you're going to dilute the message. Are you prepared to make that call? Is a great way to talk to people about setting expectations. I mean, I think boundary setting is really around setting expectations around things.
Absolutely. And it's not a, hey, I'm being overworked. It is a, hey, we both want to succeed. How can we work together and make that happen?
I actually think that when we give people time to think and breathe and, sort of decompress, it builds them up enough that they have like the next amount of energy they need for the next marathon. I've been really working hard on accepting rest. My body needs to rest. I have to rest. My brain needs to rest. It's okay to rest. It's a part of being a human being.
And we have been trained to keep giving it y'all, you need to hustle, you need to do whatever, you need to have 3 streams of revenue or what have you, go, 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 go. Well, our bodies are telling us maybe it's not great. Maybe it's not great for our physical abilities. Maybe it's not great for our mental health. Let's take a step back, slow down, find ourselves again, find our friendships again, find the things that make us human again. And then we can go and, you know, when we're on the clock, we are the very best we can be.
Exactly. Exactly. I love that. Thanks to our viewers for joining in. I hope you got the answers you needed today. If you do have a burning question, put it in the comments or email it to ahava.leaptag@ahamediagroup.com. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Thank you, Robbie.